One technique to be familiar with in portrait photography retouching is reshaping teeth and just slightly adjusting them. So go ahead and open up smile.jpg, and these teeth look fine, but your client might want you to adjust their teeth just a little bit. Generally, maybe your client has a gap or a little bit of area where you could just slightly smooth out and adjust where the tooth is, and I'll show you how to do that with this file. So let's work on a duplicated layer. So go ahead and press Control J if you're on a PC, Command J on a Mac. And so with this one, there's two methods you could try. It really depends on what kind of change we want to do. So if you want to make the tooth a lot larger, you could actually make a selection. So say the quick selection tool, and press the left bracket to make this a little bit smaller. Let's say I selected the teeth here, but I don't want all those selected. I'm now going to press Alt on the PC or Option on the Mac, and I just want this tooth here, for example. Let's say we wanted to make that larger. You could just go to Edit, and then Free Transform, and just move it left or right, or make it just slightly bigger. There's a couple other options under there as well. I hit Escape so it wouldn't make the change. So I could go up to Edit, Transform. There's also Warp. Let me zoom in here to show you the detail. And with Warp, you can really, move out, just slightly adjust the tooth here. See, like that. And that's one way to do it. It's a very subtle effect. And then you just press Enter to change it. Now, an easier way than that, I'm going to delete this layer. So we start it again, Control J or Command J. An easier way with, I think, most corrections like this, we could just go to Filter and then Liquify. As long as it's an effect where we want to move the teeth just slightly over or down or just fill in some gaps. So with this Liquify tool, what we can do, we don't want this area down here to be affected. So you could click Advanced Mode and go to the Freeze Mask, left bracket to make this smaller, and just paint in here if you don't want that to be, oops, not all that. If you don't want that to be affected, for example. And then we can choose, the very top one is Forward Warp tool. And if I just click and drag here, it's going to bring that tooth. So it's kind of even with these. I'm not saying you necessarily need to do that with this one, but I'm just saying if your client wanted you to just adjust the teeth just a little bit, you can press the left bracket and the right bracket to resize the brush. If you want to bring the tooth in a little bit here, you could click up like that. Alright, so it smoothed it out. So I hit OK, zoom out, and there's before and there's after. So just slightly changed it. And these teeth are fine. I'm just using this as an example in case you have a client who does want a little bit of work done in Photoshop to readjusting and resizing the teeth.